How's it going, guys? Cracked Rack here, and today I have quite the story for you all. So I don't know if you know this, if you're a new follower of mine, but I used to be a lot bigger on YouTube under a different channel name known as Bill Knows. I essentially made these really super intense, documentaries about people like Chris Watts and such, and my videos actually garnered thousands of millions of views in a short period of time, mainly because the channel was sort of co-signed by a large list YouTuber known as Top5Unknowns. This video is about my experience with this scummy fucking asshole, and I hope it can serve as a warning to aspiring content creators out there of why you should never sell out to someone, regardless of how tempting it may be for the views. So this story starts a few years ago. When I was 17 and a struggling content creator on the site, I really valued views and money over anything else, and I was really desperately trying to get noticed. This was around the time that the Eric Harris Files video on my channel came out. It had garnered a little attention, and with that, a YouTuber known as Top5Unknowns emailed me and essentially was super impressed with my video and wanted to know if I was interested in working on a collab channel with him. So of course, because he had like 1 million subscribers and I was desperately trying to have a YouTube career, I instantly agreed to do this collab channel. What followed were the most unfun, miserable 5 months of my life. So keep in mind, at this time, I was a very vulnerable youth and troubled, and I had no other career prospects and would have done anything for views so that I could make a living off of my only skill, which was creating content. So fast forward like 2 weeks after me and this dude's first interaction, the channel Bill Knows was set up and ready for content, and I get the first red flag that this is going to suck ass. See, I thought I was going to be able to make whatever content I wanted because I was 100% responsible for making all of the content originally on this channel. However, Top5Unknowns quickly set out these strict guidelines I had to follow in order to play the game, as he put it. First off, I always had to make a video about a trending subject, particularly about people who have recently died that are trending topics. This channel made documentaries about dead people, by the way. That was the whole gimmick. I'm only 19 now, but I regret this heavily, and I think it was pretty scummy. And even at 17, I was a different person and just wanted money and views and thought very childishly. Keep in mind, Top5Unknowns was like 25 or 26. So anyway, the second guideline for these videos is they had to be at least 10 minutes long, meaning videos that would be very entertaining at 5 minutes long, I had to soullessly stretch out to 10 minutes to fit in the algorithm so that he could place 4 ads on it, which he did. He placed like 4 or 5 ads on every video. It was fucking atrocious. The third guideline was that I couldn't swear at all, and the fourth guideline was that the thumbnail needed to be someone's face, particularly a woman's face and body, as that would get more views, as in using a dead woman's body in a sexual manner in the thumbnail to attract views. Of course, desperate 17-year-old me came up with this idea after Top5Unknowns suggested the face thing, and he was totally cool with it and encouraged it. I am disgusted at myself for ever doing that, and I'm kinda glad those videos are gone now. Anyway, the last guideline was that he had to title the video, as he apparently was some sort of SEO marketing expert. I'll get into that a little bit later. So immediately after making the first 3 or 4 videos, which did pretty well view-wise, I realized just how fucking unfun this was. I mean, slaving away at BuzzFeed-level content, day in and day out for a paycheck that was about as much as a fast food paycheck was horrible. I'd rather work at McDonald's. This dude's name is Will, by the way, the one I'm talking about. I know there's more people involved in this channel, but Will is the subject of all of this. So Will, as time went on, kept getting more and more demanding, pretty much stating what my video topics were going to be, even though, like I said, I produced everything. He would make me feel constantly like we were doing really poorly, even though we were doing pretty well. I mean, we were getting millions of views a month, and we had just started the channel like months prior. He would also be super manipulative, he'd always be like, "Oh man, you're gonna be eating big, dude, just wait a few months and you're gonna be a star," or shit like that, which always felt like a giant slap to the face because I made such little money. Speaking of money, Will was super sketchy about payment. First of all, he wouldn't let me into the channel and would lie by saying he just didn't know how to add me to it, which was total bullshit. I remember one day seeing the total cash in the account at like $1,000, and a few days later he showed me it again and it was like $800, which I'm not gonna accuse him of anything, but I found that really weird. And when it came time to pay me, I believe I only got like $400 or $500, even though I produced 100% of everything, including the thumbnails. The only thing Will did was title things, and he didn't even title them well. I mean, he'd title videos shit like, "The Scary Dark Untold Truth of What Happened," and really bizarre clickbait shit like that. And when confronted, Will would say things like, "Dude, I'm trying to run a business," and just scumfuck stuff like that. Okay, so here's the dramatic part of this story. So at 17, I was really depressed and was sexting girls way older than me on Discord, fully consensually, all day. I didn't even have to trust them that much to start sexting them, and one day one of the girls found out who I was and blackmailed one of my nudes for a ransom of $200. I told her to buzz off, and she sent pictures of my nudes to Top5Unknowns email with a totally bullshit story about how I'm some malicious psychopath predator, something that even she admits is total bullshit even all these years later. I believe she even sent him a follow-up email just saying that she was trolling for money. However, Top5Unknowns immediately Skyped me and told me that we were no longer associated with one another, and he deleted everything. Even after I explained that it was bullshit and I was just in a depressed and desperate situation, and that I was being abused and blackmailed, and that I needed a friend to support me because I didn't have any at the time, he didn't give a shit, and he just wanted nothing to do with me, even though he pretended to be a good friend of mine for quite a while who had my back. When it came down to it, he just cared about how he looked as a business, and that's all he cares about. He's kinda like the Brian Stars of the list community, I guess. Anyway, fast forward a few months later, I'm still not really over my work just getting destroyed like that, and I confront Top5Unknowns over Skype. He pretty much just does damage control and bullshits his way out of every serious question that I had for him. He also stated that he was responsible for making these videos and wouldn't admit that I made them just because he chose the topic of the video, which is so fucking scummy it makes me nauseous. I pretty much said I was gonna fuck him up if I ever saw him, which is not true, I would never do that, but I was pretty pissed off. He also refused to give me the channel, even though it had nothing but my work on it, because he stated that it was his brand and his vision, which it wasn't. I made everything from the logo of the fucking channel to all of the content. So yeah, that's my experience with working with Top5Unknowns, but this rant isn't over, because I want to talk about how shitty his channel is. So if you actually look at his channel, it is just total nonsense, and he uploads daily. I mean, he might as well just be J-Station with the content he makes. He parasitically makes content about anything that is even remotely trendy. His titles make no fucking sense, like here we have criminals who turned FBI informant, and these photos look particularly normal. Its backstories is what's scary to hear. What? His thumbnails look like they were crafted by a 12-year-old in Windows Paint, and the content of his videos are atrocious. It features some amateur narration from someone who sounds like they're using an Xbox Live mic. The script of every video is totally drawn out to reach the 10-minute mark and is devoid of any originality. There are some videos that desperately try to stretch out the time so badly that one of the videos I saw actually explained what texting was for like 3 minutes in a video about creepy texts. And the editing is about as bare bones as it can get. It's literally just minutes of zooming in on a picture of something mildly related to the video at hand. It's really sucky that YouTube rewards this kind of content with millions of subs, but luckily his channel is dying. Overall, Will, if you're watching this, go fuck yourself. You're a horrible content creator and you have absolutely no talent. You just have to vampirically suck out the talent of others and profit off of it like the pathetic maggot you are. I'm mainly making this video for aspiring content creators that would do anything for money or views, and I just want to say, it's not the way. You will have so much more fun and a better quality of life making content you actually enjoy, rather than trying to appeal to what's trending. And besides, YouTube is just not a stable career at all. I'd be surprised if monetization is even a thing anymore in a few years. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video, except for Will, of course. Fuck you.